Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. And are you ready for the last Lunch and Learn series of September? I hope you are, because this is going to be an amazing, energetic one. We have an incredible guest, and we're going to teach you as much as we can in the next 30 minutes. So take a breather, take a couple minutes or seconds, I should say, get a drink, get your notebook, and get ready to take some notes because this is going to be awesome. And a big welcome to everyone that's new to the group. We have over 200 new members, I think, over the past 7 days. So I'm excited you're here. And this is a group that's safe where you can ask questions. We're here to support you, provide you resources, the latest social media news, bring you expert interviews exclusively in this group and more. So if you have questions, let us know. And also another reminder, this is a two-way conversation. We want you to converse with us. We want you to ask your questions. So let us know what questions you have and say hi. If you're watching us, say who you are, where you're watching us from, and something you're excited about for the holiday season as we gear up for that. Is basically, we were talking right beforehand that we're in it. So a quick intro to our amazing guest really quick, Danny Monzon. So he is just an all-around social media badass. But on top of that, Danny works with established brands, developing tailor-made chat automation systems that convert strangers into loyal brand ambassadors. He's passionate about building productive relationships with clients, partners, and team members. He's experienced in new customer acquisition, emphasizing a mix of online and offline marketing strategies, tailor-made to drive highly targeted, qualified traffic to your offers. He's effective in identifying marketing trends and customer needs in today's noisy digital world. He's acquired valuable insight in the creating of targeted marketing campaigns and in developing highly motivated teams. He's also the creative and strategic thinker behind DM Digital, a digital marketing solutions agency working with local brands in the US and Latin America. And with that said, Danny, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, Jennifer. Thank you for having me. Thank you to Agorapulse, and thank you for the Social Pulse community for having me today.
Oh my God, I love it. And I love how you're right on brand and I'm not. The orange just pops. So awesome. You look so fantastic. And we've got Janet Weinstock in the house today. Howdy, Janet from Texas. I'm excited about wearing sweaters for the holidays. Oh my gosh, Janet, I know. I had my porch door open earlier this morning with that first fall front that's coming through, and we've got another one. So yes, sweatshirts are coming. Dana, hey, how's it going? How's everything going in Oregon? I know there's a lot of craziness with the wildfires. Let us know that you're doing okay. We got a few other people there. Make sure if you are joining us to give StreamYard permission so we actually can see who you are. But we're so excited that you're here, and we think you're looking good too. Now, with that said, Danny, we have a short amount of time and I want to dive right in. So first, can you give us just a quick little update of basically how you got to where you are today, your passion for chat automation and humanizing brands, marketing, social media, all of it?
Okay, I'll try to be quick, as if 30 minutes is going to go really fast. So my journey in marketing really began in 1999. So I was a club promoter in New York City, and that was my nighttime job. My daytime job, I was doing competitive advertising research at a marketing firm on Broadway in Manhattan. So that was my early days that taught me fundamentals that I carry on now into doing strategy and marketing automation and all that good stuff. So to make a long story short, my journey began just about 20 years ago in the field. But I went through, started through traditional advertising, print and magazines, and then we got into the digital space. And this is where I am now. I specialize in chat automation. So we build some sophisticated automation systems that cater to some specific brands and niches.
Gosh, I love that. So fantastic. And I love your history too. I think it's truly unique. I think everyone's journey of how they got into social media and marketing, just because, when I was in college, it really wasn't a career yet, and now it is. And we all kind of grew into it in different ways. So I love that. I think that's so cool. We've got Tim in the house. Tim, what's going on? We've got Dana as well. We just mentioned Deb Mitchell, our community manager. And if you're interested interested to check out Danny's new project, we have the link right down there in the comments for you, so you can definitely check it out. Now, Danny, I would love to know, it's kind of been a whirlwind year. How have you pivoted any kind of chat automation, digital strategies, and how have you become more human or humanized your brand even more during this time? What's been working for you?
Yes, so great question. When the recent closures happened at the beginning of the year, we were looking really, really hard into e-commerce because we've noticed some trends and we were able to predict some things there. But when this happened, inevitably, we saw some clients that we already had who are brick and mortar owners that were hurting, that were struggling to find answers. So we were able to implement and adopt some of the principles that are working, some of the tools that are working in the e-commerce space, and implement them into marketing techniques and mix them with traditional marketing so that these brick and mortar businesses are able to leverage some of those losses or some of those closures, some of those restrictions that are being imposed on them. And now people are able or are continuing to keep contact with that brand and vice versa. So chat automation has been one of the intricate tools and tactics, I should say, in order to achieve that.
And I think basically social media and chat automation is something, like you said, that's been helping companies and businesses. And I've heard this from a lot of experts in marketing and social media the past couple of months, is that businesses that were just really not into social media or even chat messenger marketing have been like, wow, this is what's going to save our business. This is what we need to do. So I think that's huge. And we've got a lot of great questions. And so we're going to kick it off right now. We've got one question. What platforms do you think are the best to advertise on? Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Google, etc. That's a very loaded question. I love that question. And Danny, I want your input on this as well, but it kind of depends where your audience is. First, you have to understand who you're trying to reach, where your audience is, and how they're already engaging with your content. And then see what your goals are for your ads. What are you trying to accomplish? And that way you can focus. But have you found extra success on some of these, and what has really been working with you or for you? Because I know chat automation with Facebook is huge.
Yes, absolutely. So all of the above work, right? The question is, at what part of the journey is your brand and where is your audience hanging out? For instance, I'm not touching TikTok just because it's a new platform. I don't have a strategy there, so I'm not just going to see what sticks, right? I, for the most part, promote and recommend Facebook, right? And the array of options that are therein, right? And at some points, for product launches and for other most immediate direct marketing or direct response marketing, we're using Google Ads to, jumpstart some reactions, jumpstart some conversions. But the social selling, however, that takes place inside of Facebook, it's not so crystal clear. For instance, it's not, you can't just post an ad saying buy here now, Black Friday special, because it's a different intent. People don't go to Facebook to buy something, so to speak. They go to Google to buy something or search for something that they're interested in buying. In social, you have more of a process, right? First, you have to, and this is something I teach, at all stages, and I talked about it in 2018 when we shared the stage here at Social Media Day in Jacksonville. You first need to get attention, right? And this is fundamentals. Nothing's going to change that. Not virtual reality is going to change that. We're still social beings, right? So we got to get attention, hence the orange shirt, right? We got people's attention, right? Then we must instigate some sort of conversation, right? I mean, that is the process. That is how we make decisions. And we must attend first to the conversations that take place inside people's minds before they even have a conversation with you socially, because people have regrets and they have fears and they have limiting thoughts. So they have to we as marketers, we have to make it easier for them to make to instigate a conversation that is conducive to where we want to take them. After the conversation, we steer them into a conversion, and that is always not a transaction. That could mean an opt-in, that could mean a sign, a registration, right? We demand some sort of action, and that is a conversion. And then obviously the retention part, keep people coming back. So it's a more intricate process. It all depends where your brand is, what part of the journey is, and where your audience is hanging out. I hope that answers your question.
No, and it's perfect. And I love how you said initiate a conversation conducive to where you want your audience to go. Because there's a lot going on right now. There's fears, there's different things. And I mean, there's always a lot going on, no matter what's happening in the world, but just honing in on your audience and problem solving, trying to find solutions for them, I think is really key. So Danny, those are amazing points. I love that. And something that I think when people think of social media strategy and even budget, they don't think about budgeting someone to help them with chat automation, or they're just like, we just don't have time for it. But I would love to hear from you on why chat automation should be considered, and maybe even some of the most successful chat automation campaigns or ads that you've run that have really kind of changed a lot or really helped businesses succeed.
Sure thing. So I like to present in a conversational manner, right? So whether it's virtually or from stage. And one of the things that I wanted your audience to take a look, and maybe you guys can type your numbers on the bottom of this video. So social selling begins with conversations, right? In conversations, we have a lot of noise going on, a lot of conversations going in different apps and such, right? But I want you guys to right now put on the chat space, how many unread emails do you have? How many unread emails do you have compared to how many unread messages do you have on Messenger? And I want you guys to take a look and enter those numbers in the bottom here. And I am almost embarrassed to enter the number of unread emails that I have. It's upwards of 70,000, and that's because I have several email accounts. But that is,
Danny, I'm the same way. Danny, I'm the same way. You guys, be honest.
I don't feel so bad now. But there are some of you guys that are inbox zero. I understand. Don't judge, please. My wife, she's inbox zero, and she's like, "How do you do that?" And I know a lot of you guys using Agorapulse are probably social inbox zero. I try to get there, and I'm closer to there than I am in the email inbox. That is probably not going to be attainable in my lifetime, unless I just delete all my accounts. But that's where the conversations are happening, right? Conversations are happening everywhere. But audiences right now, at least, are most attentive to those conversations happening in these mediums like Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram DMs, etc. Right? So to answer your question, Messenger right now has become one of the powerhouses where a lot of things are happening. Now we're able to adapt automated dialogues where people can interact with your brand, where they can ask questions, where they can receive instructions, and not just for lead generation or for type of funnel techniques or to instigate sales, but for post-sales, customer service or product reviews, that sort of thing. So brands anywhere from local restaurants to high ticket offers by coaches and everywhere in between are using Messenger automation. Now, here's the thing. Messenger bots have a bit of they're a bit misunderstood, and rightfully so. There's some brands that are a bit skeptic or a bit slow into adopting automation because unfortunately, there are some brands that are missing the mark, and they're actually feeling the wrath of the Facebook gods because they didn't read the fine print. So one of the things that we pride ourselves in is, at the beginning of launching a strategy or even building a chat automation system, we actually do our due diligence, right? We read what are the rules of the game. In order to win, we need to know the rules of the game without so that we can score, right? So brands who are using or campaigns that are using chat automation correctly, wow, there are a lot of high profile coaches that have been adopting this for a number of years now. And now with the evolution of tools like ManyChat and the integrations that consistently the guys at ManyChat are putting out to the market with Shopify and Amazon, now we're able to serve e-commerce stores, 6-7 figure brands, and we're also able to adopt these tools for small mom and pop boutiques here locally, or restaurants, or as businesses reopen, they are now welcoming this message a lot better than last year.
And I think, the way you explain it is so good, just because it's tricky when it comes to chat automation. And I was one of those people, Danny, at the beginning. I didn't really believe in it. I'm like, it's not personal. I'm not going to engage in it. And then I have several friends, including you, Danny, now, that have changed my mind and made me realize you can personalize it. You can make it truly unique. I have one of my other friends in messenger marketing that's creating such a cool journey for one of our clients. And we've also had help from someone else that has helped us last year with some cool, unique things. And so, Danny, I would love for you to just share some of your tips when personalizing content all over your social channels, but also with chat automation. How do you make it human? How do you spark emotion? How do you get people to feel something and resonate and be like, oh, wow, I totally get that?
That is a really, really good question, Jennifer, because even though we're using automation, we must not sound robotic. Let me explain. So there are ways that we can do that. And all you have to do is pay attention to what you as a human being react to, right? So it takes a little bit of awareness, right? We all know that as data-driven marketers, we pay attention to click-through rates and conversion rates and all these statistics and charts, and we're constantly, looking for ways to move the needle forward, right? But we must not neglect that at the end of that screen, at the end of that device, there's a human being, again, with fears, with aspirations, with emotions. And when we use automation only to respond questions that are robotic, when we don't use the visuals, the colors, the animations with animated GIFs, with sounds, then we are using the tool at a 10%, right? We are boring our audience. They're probably not going to want to interact with a chat automation tool that is not triggering those emotional buttons. So it begins with some thought, right? It begins with hiring the right team, right? There's a lot of gifted people out there building chatbots. However, they are gifted in the technical part, and they can build some amazing build outs, but they're not so keen to the psychological triggers that could help a person move along that conversation, right? In other instances, those conversations are too intricate and there are too many options. So when you give too many options to a person, guess what? The brain is going to get confused and is going to retract to what's easy. So we have to always keep in touch, we have to keep in mind those things that help people move along. And on the technical side, measuring every click, measuring every intent, so that when we re-engage with those people, whether it's on the same channel or on different channels, highlighting the omni-channel concept, we're being relevant, we're being personal, and we're being timely, not invasive and annoying.
And you said it perfectly. You have to be timely. You're being timely, not invasive or annoying, which is so true. And Deb is reiterating what you said, hire the right team. Tech is good, but need to pay attention to the psychological triggers to move the person to. Brian Fanzo said, automation is never bad. The people who configure the automation are bad, and in many cases forget the importance of the human condition, which is so true. And I think when people hear automation, they immediately think it's not personable. It's not human, so therefore it's not going to have that connection, but it really can. And I think this is Scott. I rarely use Access on my phone, actually, more than 90% desktop. And Janet said, great point, Danny, about giving too many automated options and showing the difference between when to automate and when to intervene with a human, which, yes, is so key. So Janet, I'm so glad that you reiterated that. And another thing that you help businesses and companies with, Danny, is once they get a customer, making sure they become lifetime customers, or extending the lifetime of that customer, purchasing more services from you or products. How do you do that? How can you help brands that once they get a customer that's excited about something, to keep them, enticing them so they want more?
Yeah, so you and I have been to situations where we are taking part of I don't know, we're at the airport, for instance, and there are other people that have preferred seating, and they're being treated, being taken care of first. And we're like, wait, what, how do I get in that group, right? So either they're frequent flyers or VIPs or first class, or they're part of some loyalty program, right? So frequent flyers and the miles that they acquire when they fly, those are loyalty programs. So we are taking those elements and those concepts from big brands, and we're applying them to all kinds of niches, right? So the loyalty factor is something, again, a psychological tactic that we are applying to e-commerce and brick and mortar businesses. Let me explain. So when we implement a group, a selected group that gets access to flash sales, or gets access to a Facebook group, or gets access to private mentoring, we are in fact rewarding the top spenders and the most frequent buyers, right? By default, that's what loyalty means, or that's what loyalty programs are built around. So that helps people who are not in the group want to get in the group so they can also enjoy these benefits, right? And people who are in the group, they want to acquire points, they want to acquire miles, they want to keep it going, they want to share the benefits. So loyalty programs are very, very key when it comes to building a loyal audience that are going to become your brand ambassadors, because they're being treated right? Because they're being taken care of. And then guess what they do? They go and share that with someone else. Even though we live in a digital space, still word of mouth is still one of the best ways of promoting another product or service. So we firmly believe in that.
And I think, gosh, you are making so many great points, Danny, today with everything. And it's, you got to understand how your customer, basically, psychologically, how are they doing? How are they feeling? And, how can you help them? And what are the best conversations and avenues to take them on to ensure that their problems are solved? You find solutions for them, and you build that trust and that loyalty. And then, they'll stick around forever, hopefully. So, Danny, I love that so much. And something else that you're amazing at doing is creating content. You're a content king. You produce content everywhere. I would love to know, and I'm sure many others, what are some of your favorite tools for creating your content, and how do you stay inspired? Because you share on your Instagram stories a lot of just, you're excited, you're positive, and you get pumped up in the morning. How do you stay positive even when things are just a little uneasy and unsure?
Yeah, well, I like to document my journey, right? So obviously, social is a place where we can show our highlights and our good times and all that good stuff. But I think that I've been also publishing, the hard things of this business, the hard things of life in general, the hard things of relationships sometimes. So when you do that, people tend to engage with, with that content that is real, that is vulnerable, right? Where you can share your humanity. So people that are in my circle, they probably agree in saying that I've been good at creating conversations and friendships, so to speak. And I think that has transferred into the digital space, right? Because of my nature of engaging in conversations or getting in touch with someone who I don't know, and getting to know someone better. That has played part in successful campaigns, because in essence we continue conversating, except we're in a different medium. But when you're becoming, or when you're staying human, when you're connecting not only in your mind with someone else, but in your heart, then you make long-standing relationships that can open doors down the road.
And I love that. I think sharing your story and your journey is so important to make you relatable, and it also helps with sparking that emotion, because I connect with content that I feel some kind of emotion toward, whether it be bad emotion or good emotion or, little sad emotion. It's that content that I remember, and sharing your journey and what you're going through, it's going to resonate with someone, right? We're all going through the journey of life together. So sharing that just helps make you, more personable and just more human, like we all are. So Danny, those are amazing tips. And I have one more quick question for you.
Sure.
What are some of your productivity hacks and content creation apps on your phone or on your desktop that you just can't live without, that are just like, oh my God, these are amazing and tools, and if they went away, I wouldn't be able to do what I do?
Absolutely. So, wow, I have so many tools that I use on a daily basis, but some of my favorite ones, of course, is ManyChat. So ManyChat is Facebook preferred chatbot platform. And I got that from Facebook. It's just not my personal opinion. I got that from someone in the conference in 2018. So that is the brand that I used to build these automation systems. Another one that I could not live without, or my team could not let me live without, would be Agorapulse, of course. We recently all became certified in learning how to use the platform. And we learned that we were using it maybe at a 25%. Not anymore. Now all three of us are certified, and we know what we're doing and what we are not doing also. So it's been a good power combination. ManyChat, Agorapulse are used on a daily basis here. And one thing that I wanted to add when it comes to using tools, right? We're able to automate some things on Agorapulse as well. But I would also add in the tips on how to best use tools, any automation tools, is don't try to automate anything that you're not willing to get good at doing manually. So if you suck at making friends, try to hire somebody to do your chat automation.
That's true. That's a very good tip. That's an awesome tip. And I love the shout out. So Danny, seriously, thank you so much. And where can people find you, hire you, talk to your agency, all those good, amazing things?
Well, sure thing. First of all, I'm a social being, and if you guys comment, I'm sure either myself or somebody in my team is going to catch the comment. But I'm building a new website. My team and I are building a new website. We're getting ready to make some announcements next week. We have the ManyChat Conversations 2020 conference, which is going to be a 3-day conference this year, virtually. And at the end of that 3-day conference, we are going to make some announcements. Now, my new website, my new agency website is dm.digital. It's under construction, but it's so have some patience with us. And of course, my personal brand website, DannyMonzon.com.
Awesome. Danny, I just have to say thank you so much for just jumping on. I know you've got such a busy schedule, but sharing your brilliance with us, because I think many are still hesitant to do chat automation, but with the results that you've gotten with your clients, it's very powerful. And especially as we head into the holidays, it's something to really consider for your strategy. And so if you guys have questions, feel free to message Danny, contact his agency, and see how maybe you guys can talk through some ideas, because it's very, very powerful. We found it powerful. ads through messenger marketing are extremely powerful. So with
Certainly.
that said, Danny, thank you so much. And a big shout out to everyone here that joined us live. We think you're awesome and amazing. And for those watching the replays, thank you so much as well. We have awesome live shows this week, including one tomorrow on our main Facebook page, YouTube, Periscope, all of that. We've got Social Media Lab Live with our content scientist, Scott Ayers. That's at 1 o'clock Eastern. We've got our agency chat. That's on Twitter. Just look up #agency chat and you can see all the great conversations we have. Now I'm taking Friday off because I'm taking my mom on a trip for her birthday. So we won't have Social Pulse Weekly, but next Friday we have Melanie Diesel and I'm so excited. We're going to geek out on so much. So hopefully you can join us then. But with that said, make it an amazing rest of your Tuesday, an awesome week, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye guys.
Bye now.